the second part of our webinar series that we're currently running during the Corona crisis. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we covered a webinar for the travel and hospitality industry. Obviously, this industry is suffering currently heavily due to the current situation. Today, we want to address all online retailers and e-commerce providers with 10 tips and tricks how to actually make your revenue grow during the Corona crisis, because you are in a situation that actually will help you to sell more online, obviously, because people cannot go out. So this is the agenda for today. Very briefly, some points about Audience Serv. Then I will give you 10 marketing tips for you. 7 of those tips basically you can do yourself. You can actually optimize your website and optimize your product range. There will be 3 tips at the end of the presentation that might have to be outsourced or might have to be done by your marketing team in order to push your advertising and what channels to use for your advertising and creating new clients. And there will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Feel free to already type in your questions in the Q&A box of Zoom here. And at the end, I will read probably all of them and I will answer them on the spot. My name is Wilke. I'm the Vice President Global Sales and Client Services for Audience Serv. I've been operating in Europe. I'm German. I've been operating in Europe for a long time. And for the last 6 years, I'm operating from Asia, but also taking clients from Europe and from all over the world. Downstairs, you can see my contact details. Also, we will provide you with the presentation and the link to this video after this is finished. So very briefly about Audience Serv, who are we? So Audience Serv was founded in 2008 as a pure email company. Right now we have our portfolio is very big. So we do email marketing, lead generation. We also use other marketing channels like Google, PPC, display, social, and mobile. And we're active in a lot of countries worldwide. Our database is huge and our reach is global. So if you are a global, online retailer, we can help you to actually reach out to 100 million people globally, because it's our database right now. And we are specialized in lots of different verticals: hospitality, e-commerce, FMCG, automotive, etc. Right now we have 6 offices with now over 80 people, 4 in Europe: Amsterdam, Barcelona, Munich, and Berlin. Berlin being the headquarter, with the Asian headquarter being Hanoi, where I'm currently based, even though in the background you see the Golden Gate Bridge. We don't have it here in Hanoi. And 1 office in Singapore. Now, as I said, right now the times are difficult, but for your vertical, which is the e-commerce and online retail vertical, actually it's a good situation. People are not leaving the house. People have a lot of time to serve. So why not make your performance even better? And how to make it, I will explain you right now. Let's jump into the top 10 tips. Okay, understand your current products and needs of the client during this situation. So the good news is there is a new category for products, and maybe you can even add some of your current products into this. It's called pandemic pantry products. And obviously those are all products that are related somehow to the current Corona situation, mainly hand sanitizers, masks, gloves, etc. So if you have something in your stock or something that you can offer that basically helps people to survive those those critical times right now, you should basically create a segment for that and reach out to the people, and basically those are all the people, and reach out to them and tell them what you have currently in your stock available. Now, looking at the numbers compared from 2019 to March 2020, we see products here that might have not even been on your radar yet. Especially if I look at number 2, bread machines, which rise to a very high extent. We have a rise of 652%. Also, things like weight training. So people are not going to the gym, they train at home. All those things are in that new category. So if you have anything that goes into this kind of segment, you need to push it obviously hard. Now, there are products that are not working currently. And those products, I'm going to show you here. Those products are obviously very outdoor and travel related. Now, luggages, cameras, swimwear, gym bags and shoes, whatever kind of shoes, are not necessarily needed to an extent than they were before. So for now, the advice is maybe to put them down a little bit. Don't advertise them too hard. Nobody might be committing to buying them currently. So obviously you know what you have in your inventory, and obviously you might want to stack it up with some new products, and might want to take out some products, or at least reduce the spending of advertising for those products. Now here we have a couple of graphics who actually show exactly what I just told you. So grocery e-commerce, of course, people are not able to get what they want in the shop. I mean, we all saw the pictures of panic buys, toilet paper, etc. So people are very conscious right now, and you can jump into that gap and offer it to them online. Same applies to F&B, food and beverage, delivery. So restaurants are closed. I mean, I can just talk globally. Restaurants are closed all over the world to a certain extent. People are ordering their food, their dinners, their lunch boxes online right now. So also here we have a high increase of almost 20%. And obviously health and safety products need to be pushed right now. I explained to you before. So if you have those products in your stock or in your inventory, you need to push them, obviously. If you don't have them, you might consider of adding some products that fit also your corporate identity plus the need of the client in order to satisfy the needs and in order to also boost your revenues. Now, that's what I just explained to you. So you might want to add some products categories on your website. And here actually I'm talking about intermediary category pages. They are not necessarily new products. They are a sub-option of existing menus that you already have. Now, why is it so important right now? First of all, people right now have time to read and they have time to research. And there's a huge amount of products that are basically offered from different companies at the same time. Now, with an intermediary category page, you can take your time and explain exactly what is behind your product. So usually if I want to buy a mask, if I would have liked to buy a mask 4 weeks ago, or let's say 12 weeks ago, there might have been a picture of the mask and a small description, and that was enough at that time. Now, talking about those kind of products, masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, you might right now, to up it up a little bit, scale up the description, scale up the pictures, give more information about those products currently, because people right now, they will research. And the more you can give them in that category page, the more info they get at the end of the day. And talking about what you could add here, inline help guides, inspirational content, maybe also wizards, finest configurators, and a navigation path. So there's a lot of things you can do currently to tune up your website and to make it actually more informative for your visitors. Now, something that also works very well currently are subscription boxes. So there are two things right now here in that catchphrase. It's subscription means they're gonna buy it again and again. Actually, they're not buying it. They have subscribed to buy it. And the second part is boxes. So what am I talking about? So subscription boxes, I think this kind of incentive we know in Germany and Europe for shavers, for razor blades. So you can actually subscribe and get your razor blades every month delivered. Right now, obviously this kind of marketing strategy can be improved. So on the right side, you see some kind of boxes, and this is a very good way to engage with your clients, and also basically to bundle your products and sell them in a box. Now you have to be creative. Obviously, you have to find also the theme of the box. Is it a food box? Is it a let's say cosmetic box, or whatever, whatever you want to, whatever fits in your vertical, and then message and communicate those boxes to your existing clients or to your new clients. Now, it's very important to personalize your product offering, or at least give also your clients the chance to customize their box. So it might look like that you offer 10 products, people can create their own box and then actually order it. So I would suggest you create 10 boxes that you think are satisfying the need of your clients, plus give the option to customize one box. Now, there are also other things you have to keep in mind, like, for example, give the option to buy a box for 2 people, for the whole family, or 4 people, or for 1 person. Also, please keep in mind that people might have dietary preferences. So if you work in the F&B business or in any kind of food-related businesses, and if somebody's a vegan, obviously it doesn't make sense to sell them a box full of meat or to offer that. So also keep that in mind. And I'm going to talk about that later. Always add generous return policies. So right now it's the time to make a step towards the client, loosen up your policies, and give them more freedom and more security to fulfill the online purchase. Now, I think it's a no-brainer that for those kind of products, you need stunning photos, you need good descriptions, especially, and now I'm already at point number 5, in order to launch your UGC campaign, user-generated content campaigns. That means if you have good pictures, if you have good products, you are heavily reliable nowadays that people share those creatives and share your products on social media. Now, if you don't have a good picture, obviously nobody wants to share. The product is not good, nobody will share the product. So please keep that in mind, that it's shareable, that looks good, and that people catch your product and your call to action on the first view. Now, also you need obviously to be very transparent about the value of those boxes. So if I order 10 pieces inside a box, and the price is $100, $200, it might make sense now also to list the prices that are behind, that are in this box of all those products. So transparency today is very important in everything you offer. Now, cash flow obviously is a topic that is through all verticals important. Now, how can I make sure that even if people are not buying my products currently, if I talk about future products that might be important and available later, I might want to give future discounts. Now, that works with gift cards that I can buy, or that your clients can buy. So why not create some discounted gift cards towards future purchases? So why not make a very good offer to your clients? You can see some examples on the right side, heavily discounted, but obviously also prepaid, but they can actually realize those sales or those products later. Now, we have to also give volume discounts. So I don't know if you're doing it currently right now, but quantity discounts are very important right now, and also seasonal discounts. Now, why are seasonal discounts so important? Not only that every season in Europe we have spring, summer, fall, and winter have different products. But also it's obviously a very good way to clear out your previous season's inventory. So if you have something left from last year that hasn't been sold yet, why not put it into a box with other products from last year? Why not discount them? And why not make it very, very attractive for the client to buy them? Now, also obviously, and that you know already, promotional discounts work all the time. My personal thought regarding that is that obviously the travel, event, and hospitality industry will pick up again. So people will travel heavily when the travel bans are lifted, and they might already window shop right now for swimsuits, sun protection, etc. So that's also a very good point to actually sell it right now, make the sale now, or make the pre-sale right now, and let them actually pick up the products later. Loss leaders are actually sales where you basically maybe go break even or maybe even lose a little bit in terms of profitability. You have to also take this into consideration. Right now, one of your main points should be getting new clients and also binding your existing customer base towards you, because your competition is not sleeping. They might have better products or cheaper products. We don't know. You don't know. So you have to include some loss leaders where you won't make a lot of profit, but also it's a gift for your clients, and also you can upsell later based on those products. Now, BOGO sales is something you have to be very careful with. Buy one, get one free. The free, and we all know that the free part is not really free. I think, or we think, it makes sense to spell out the real savings right now. So really give them the prices for the individual product and give them the prices for buy one, get one, and tell them exactly what you consider as free and how much actually the client will save. Now, loyalty discounts and membership discounts are also a no-brainer. Push hard for them, make your customers feel special, show your appreciation for your customers. And I think especially for point number 6, point number 7, it's very useful to include point number 4, which are the loss leaders in your promotions for those segments of clients. Shipping cost is another point. Now, obviously, the shipping costs are real, and somebody has to bear them and has to pay them. Now, there are a couple of ways, obviously, how to adjust the product, adjust the shipping cost by adjusting the product price and offer free shipping. I think that's nothing new for you. All those points are not new for you. You know how to do this, how to reduce shipping costs or slightly increasing the product price. The call to action, the message is, if you haven't done it yet, this is the time to do it. All those 6 points have to go live from you immediately, because I would say 60% of all online retailers are doing it already right now. So also jump on the bandwagon, choose if you want to adjust prices, if you want to reduce prices for shipping or whatever. Now, this is also something, and actually I talked about that a long time in my presentation 2 weeks ago for the hotel business. Cancellation policies is something nobody likes. Everybody wants to keep the cash, and actually nobody likes to give refunds. This goes into the same direction like the delivery costs. So right now you need to adjust and extend return period. You also need to be proactive. You need to help the client to return the product by actually giving a return label on the shipment. And in certain cases, it makes also sense that the client is able to return the goods directly to you and not to your third-party logistics. This applies to, let's say, sensitive products that have opened and were not supposed to open, and also especially products that go into the direction of health. Now, usually, if there's a return window, it's usually 30 days, 15 days sometimes. currently, I would say go as long as you can. If you can do 60 days, go for it. Everything that makes you stand out, everything that makes you be proactive and customer friendly looks good currently. So I would just say double your return period, your current return period, and also feel free to advertise and to message and communicate that to your existing client base. All the points I have covered before, you have to tell them on social media, email, or whatever. We have extended our return window. We have now free delivery. We have this and this. It's not only good that you do it and you know it, and if somebody sees it, they say, thank you, are happy. You have to actually, you can use this as a proactive advertising campaign. What steps did you do in order to make everything more friendly for your clients? Now, there are also gift return policies. You can see the refund request sample on the right side. So there are many ways how to make it easier for your clients, and also at the end of the day, more profitable for you. Return policies are also important to state somewhere, obviously on your website. If you change them, let people know what you did, and be the hero for your clients. Now, some people, they buy online and they don't want to, let's say, they want to go out, but they cannot shop. So what we can do right now is we can offer something like buy online, pick up in store, which actually is, which fits very well in the very current socially distant shopping segment. Now, the BOPIS, I think we all know, works very good. I'm using it every day. People cannot enter the shop, but you can still have the shop open to a certain extent, and they want to go out and they just pick it up. So the process for the buy online, pick up in store is that obviously the customer will order the items online, but he doesn't want them to be delivered at his home. So you will receive the order, prepare it safely in your store, pack it, tell the client how to pick it up if he doesn't want to get it shipped to his home, and then he can basically do his shopping safely. Now, those were the general tips and tricks. Now, obviously, there are some advertising advice from our side, and I have found 3 channels right now I want to talk to you about, which is email marketing, PPC, so Google AdWords, and social media selling. So email marketing obviously is very important for us in Audience Serv, because it's one of our main channels that we are selling. So let's start here with general email marketing. I assume that you already have an email database. So we talk about retention email marketing, or CRM email marketing, which is email marketing to your current subscribers that you have generated by yourself. So there are a couple of stats here. Actually, more important are the stats here. So opening rates and click rates for different verticals. So what we found out is that, and it's a little bit misleading here, to be honest. It's a little bit surprising as well that, for example, open rates in travel hospitality go up, even though nobody's traveling. But I explained that 2 years ago. People are window shopping currently. So they're looking for whatever. So they're opening up. If they cannot travel, they want to see some good pictures. So they're opening up, they're clicking. They're not converting yet. They will convert soon. Now for retail, if you look at the first picture, actually there was a little increase in the first week of the Corona epidemic. And now everything got back to normal. Means the open rates and the click rates have not really changed a lot. Now, you might ask yourself, why is that? I just told you that your vertical is the best performing vertical right now, but your click rates and your open rates haven't changed. It's not, doesn't make sense. It makes sense because we talk about email marketing. We talk about marketing to your existing client base. Now, I will give you an example. If you have 100,000 subscribers in your database and you have a current open rate of 30% and a click rate of 1% or 2%, how can it change right now? Because you have very loyal customers. So especially in your vertical, the numbers will not change if you don't up the volume. Now, obviously there are different ways how to up the volume, and which means up the volume, get more subscribers, reach out to more people. And then obviously also the amounts will change, click rates will change, open rates will change, but most importantly, you might be able to address 200,000 people instead of 100,000 people. So how will we get more email subscribers? I will explain you later on. There are some do's and don'ts, obviously. I mean, we all know in email marketing, there are some things you should not do, especially when it comes to subject lines and content. So there are some very spammy words you should not use. On the right side is the current list of surging words in now, as of today, as of March number 5. So there are some words that are really well working. Those numbers are confirmed. So like delivery, shipping, work from home, etc. And the B2B business also more or less the same. So you have to make sure that you include the numbers that apply to your business and also apply to email marketing tactics. So use this, provide information about online options or alternatives, and very important here, adjust your language to the situation. Now, there are two extremes, being too casual. If you want to have Corona or the current situation still somewhere in your message, there are two things that you shouldn't do. Be too casual or be too, let's say, too serious. Now, be too casual means, obviously right now it's not the right time to have an edgy humor. You have to find, let's say, a baseline of a language or of a tone of voice that applies to this current situation. Also, don't panic. Don't drive people to panic buys, or don't use Corona as a call to action. Just find a very basic language currently that applies, and then direct people to your website. I mean, that should be always applicable. Never run any kind of ads that don't connect to your website, or that don't make people click on a link that doesn't go to your website. The website is your place, or your store or your shop is the place where you gather all information. So for your email campaign, it's very important that you don't give all information in that template or in that mail. You just give a highlight, an appetizer. And at the end of the day, if they want to find out more, they have to click and find that information on your website. Obviously, what do we want to achieve with that? We want to achieve that your website traffic goes up, that people also maybe cross-check other products. So don't forget that in your email template. Exactly, I said that. Don't use COVID as a pretext to communicate anymore. I would have told you 2 months ago, 4 weeks ago, I would have told you, yes, use it. Things change. Personally, I'm a bit tired of reading about Corona. So that's something for me where I wouldn't open anymore. So don't use it as your call to action. Some other things about email marketing. It's very, very unuseful to send the same template to your entire contact base. Now, let me give you an example. You will have for sure 50% male, 50% female, or something in that dimension. If you're not, let's say, concentrated on gender. Now, it doesn't make sense that a man receives some information or products for women. So create segments, male, female, age groups, geos, and maybe also add some behavioral targeting, because you know, obviously, where people click, what people buy. So right now, be very specific, because the amount of emails that are currently sent out to end consumers is very high. So people are deleting because they get too much. So fit the subject line to your content and fit the content to your audience. Very important. Also, as I said, don't write anxiety-provoking communication. Don't cause panic. If you have masks to sell or something else in the centration vertical, don't highlight that they have to buy it right now. Just offer it. Everybody knows what they want to buy. And at the end of the day, you have to take your customers' concerns seriously and don't show that you're profiting from the current situation. Obviously we do, some don't, but don't make it too obvious. It's about helping right now, making money, helping at the same time. On the right side, you can see some templates from different advertisers. And obviously, Audience Serv also can help you to create the perfect template for your campaign. Here are some other things, some other call to action, some other templates, work out home, in the gym. Obviously, everybody's doing sports at home if they do sports, and so on and so forth. Also, things like Netflix and this Send Fandango. Everybody needs more entertainment at home. They are booking, they are trying to get more input. So those are a couple of things that work very well right now. Now, Audience Serv, how can we help you actually to get more business and more revenue? So if you do email marketing on your own client, on your own consumer base, you have a certain amount of subscribers. So maybe 50,000, let's say 100,000. So how, if you want to reach out to more, there are two ways actually to do it. You can either try to generate more subscribers, which is pretty difficult for normal online retailers. To get a new subscriber is a long way with opt-in, double opt-in. You have to take many steps. The alternative is use Audience Serv database and reach out to our existing clients. So we have around 100 million data sets worldwide. All our data, all our email data is segmented into gender, age, also into different verticals. So what you can do is obviously you can use us to reach out to more clients, and also at the same time, probably increase your database, increase your Facebook fan page, follow us, etc., etc. Now, our database actually is segmented into different verticals. You can see e-commerce at the bottom right. So we know a lot about our user behavior and interests, and you can profit from that by using us, using our data to reach out to them. There are a lot of emails. So currently we have 100 million emails worldwide. They're segmented also in different geos. So we have data in the most important countries all over the world. And we have the ability to also help you push your product to those end users. PPC, paid search, Google pay per click. Now, here also, it's very important to currently be careful with the keywords you're bidding on. So later on, we will send you this presentation here. You can have a look at the peaks of the days and time. It's very important right now to also take times and days into consideration. When do you want to run your PPC campaign? At what time is it visible? What day is the best performing day? So same like for email marketing, you have to dig down deep, check the behavior, check the latest trends, and then also adjust your PPC campaign towards that. There are some things you have to be careful. Same like subject lines with PPC. Google recommends actually to be careful with the terms checkup and protection. Now, how can you know what term you use? You have to do some research for that, obviously. And also there are text ad optimization tools you can use. The other alternative is to use an agency or to hire some very specific people to run your campaigns. Now, same procedure. Segment your audiences, segment your keywords, schedule your times when you want to advertise, and very important, stay aware of trends. There are some tools on the market, the PPC analysis tool, etc., that will help you actually set up your campaign, make it very, let's say, beneficiary for you, and get some money for that. Now, you might want to review your creative materials and also always stay on top of your logistics and inventory. Now, the last part I want to explain to you is the social selling part. This is a term that's been on the market for ages, social selling. Right now, obviously, people are using social media to a high extent. So what does social selling mean? Now, obviously, if you don't have a physical location, social media is perfect for retailer to reach out to the existing database, especially since people go from website to social media page to forums. So they are very detective-like because they have a lot of time to check. So why not approach them proactively on your social media channel and tell them what is your product, what are your products all about? If you don't have a shop on social media, always direct them to your website. Every ad you run on social media, every post on social media should have a link that goes to your website, because you want to increase your web traffic. You use social media as a messaging tool right now to reach out and to make it more easy for potential clients or existing clients to communicate with you and to find out about your product. Now, a lot of text here, but actually it goes hand in hand with what I said before. So you have different social media marketing channels. You have your website. So use social media to promote everything you have done before already. Push coupons, push offers, push discounts. Push them means don't materialize them necessarily on social. You will materialize that on your website. So push it on social, finish the sale on your website. Obviously, also very important to make social shopping as seamless as possible. So please keep that in mind. If you have a landing page, it should be scrollable, mobile friendly. Mobile friendliness is very important. But at the end of the day, it's not rocket science to run a social media campaign about that. And also dedicate time to provide social customer service. Social media works very well for customer service, for client services. So either via Messenger or via other forms. But yes, people have a lot of questions right now. They don't take the phone. They want to communicate with you. So use social media or messenger services to be on top of your clients' demands and reach out to them more easily. Okay, that is the end of the presentation. We have 6 minutes left, and I would like to check if there are some questions and answers currently. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So the question, one of the questions is that okay. What is the process of running an email campaign with Audience Serv? Okay, I explained to you before that if you run your own email campaign on your existing clients, use your own data, your own creatives, everything runs on your own system. Now, if you want to run a campaign on our data, obviously there are different steps. So as we are the owners of the double opt-in, we are the owners of the data. It's not about, we're not selling email data to you. You can book email data with us. That means you have a promotion, a kind of a campaign that you want to advertise. You can reach out to us. You can ask for the different segments, different geos. We will take your creative. If you don't have one, we do one for you. So we take your creative or the creative that we provide, that you provided, and we send it out from our systems into our database under your name, only with your products, with a little footer that implies that you have not sent the email, but we have sent it for you, which makes it very secure for you and for us not to get into any policy or privacy issues. Second question is, okay. There's another question about what to promote in your email template. So as I said, for your internal template and for the template that we would push for you. It's very important to basically catch some flies with one whip. Means you should promote your products, but you should also at the same time make sure that you advertise your Facebook fan page, your LinkedIn page, all the pages, because besides getting revenue from email marketing, you can also increase fans, followers on different media channels. And also if you run it via us, you can add a little line in your template says that basically incentivizes the client to subscribe to your own newsletter. So actually you run a campaign with Audience Serv, at the same time you're also increasing your own newsletter base. Okay, and that's it for the moment. No open questions. So everybody, thank you very much for attending that webinar. The next webinar will actually be explicitly for email marketing in 2 weeks. So we're going to cover all email marketing points. The information for that webinar here will be provided to you via email. We're also going to send you the link of this webinar, so you will receive one PDF with the slides. And if you want to see me again, feel free to join our YouTube channel, because that video will be put online, or join me in 2 weeks for the next webinar about email marketing. Thank you very much.